Greetings, everyone. This is Richard Crevo in another chart reading session. And as I mentioned in the chart tutorial YouTube that I did on May 11th, a few days back, I plan on doing a chart drill down like this once a week. So those of you who are interested can get a feel for how I like to analyze the charts each day to look for trading setups. And in this video, we're going to do just that. Now, if you have questions about how and why my charts are set up the way they are, please reference the video entitled Chart Tutorial of May 11th, and that'll explain it. Now, if time allows, we're going to take a look at all 28 pairs that I follow. And as I mentioned the other day, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at rcrevo, K-R-I-V-O, rcrevofx @gmail.com. Okay, let's get the disclaimers out of the way and get started. Now, I know that many of you have heard and read disclaimers before, but a word to the wise, they are there for a reason. I am including them for a reason. So please be forewarned, if you will. Trading foreign exchange involves significant levels of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Traders should only trade with risk capital, money that if lost, it's not going to affect one's lifestyle in the slightest little bit. So no trading with the grocery money, mortgage payments, kids' college fund, anything like that. There is no guarantee made or implied that any trade analysis covered in this or any other video will result in profits or not result in losses. And the content is provided for informational and educational purposes only, and these are not intended as specific trading recommendations. And also I'm talking about trading setups here. So as we go forward in this exercise, keep in mind that a trading setup is just that. It's a setup. It's nothing more. It may or may not trigger, and if it does trigger, it may or may not produce a winning trade. These setups put the probabilities of having a winning trade more in our favor. The setup and its execution by no means assures a winning trade. Okay, let's take a look at our currency pairs here that like I say, we may get through all of them this evening. We may not. Euro USD, we went over that the other day, but nothing much has changed except the pair has moved a little bit higher. This is the weekly chart. We have a weekly, daily, 4-hour, and 1-hour. Pair continues to make higher highs and higher lows on the weekly chart, and also we see good angle and separation on the indicator slow stochastics that I like to use on the charts. And also we see it's continuing to make higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart, which means I am looking for buying opportunities on the lower time frame charts. My lower time frames are a 4-hour and a 1-hour down here. The trade also has already kicked off, if you will, on the 4-hour chart here. It took out the upper Donchian channel. In other words, it took out resistance right there. And on the 1-hour chart, price action has pulled back and is maybe going to make a new assault on the 1.1447 level. If you're interested in monitoring this pair, what you might do is set a price alarm at 1.1447 or a little bit in front of that, so that you can take a look at the charts at the time that that price alarm goes off and decide if in fact you want to trade that pair. Let's look at the pound dollar. And again, here on the weekly chart, we see an uptrend. Price action has been moving down and down and down on the weekly chart for quite some time. It started moving down right in this area here, which was back in August of last year, and has continued to move down. This is the first time price action on the weekly chart has taken out the upper channel. So that's kind of a big deal there, showing an upward bias. We've also got good angle and separation on the slow stochastics indicator here, indicating that this move to the upside on the weekly chart may indeed follow through. Obviously, if this is on a weekly chart, there's going to be a lot of fits and starts and ups and downs on the lower time frame charts, but the overall trajectory on the weekly chart looks to be to the upside. And as we would expect on the daily chart, price action is making higher highs and higher lows. Again, I'm looking for opportunities, only buying opportunities, because I'm a trend trader, and I'd only be looking for buying opportunities on this particular pound dollar pair. It's already kicked off the trade on the 4-hour chart, and a nice stair step formation on the 1-hour chart, moving to the upside. I like to see more of a pullback on this, a pullback perhaps to the lower Donchian channel. there is a pullback here. A more aggressive trader might set a price alarm at this 1.5822 level just to see what the charts look like, what's going on with this pair when that price alarm executes. Again, any entries that you make, would certainly, be on your own in that situation. Let's take a look at the dollar Swiss currency pair. And here we have any of the pairs, if you were paying attention to the markets for a while, January 15th, and this would be the week of January 15th, there was quite an event, which I'll let you research if you want to, in the situation with the Swiss National Bank, the NSB, which is the reason for this extremely long candle here. Personally, I've been avoiding the pairs a bit, but we have a nice move to the downside here on the weekly chart. Again, good angle and separation to the downside. Lower highs and lower lows on the daily chart. If a trader wanted to think about trading this particular pair, you might consider setting a price alarm at 90.72 on that 4-hour chart, which is the 90.72 level right here on the 1-hour chart as well. So you could take a look at that. Again, if you make up your mind that you're interested in analyzing that pair further and wanting to set a price alarm on it. Euro yen. This pair price action is moving down. We've got good angle and separation again to the upside. We're approaching a resistance level right here at about 36.61 on the weekly chart. If price breaks above that level, then it's got a pretty good smooth run to the upside here for a good amount of pips, which is about 1,200. So that qualifies as a good amount of pips, no doubt about that. Again, good angle and separation here. So the pair hasn't taken out the upper channel on the weekly chart yet. It has taken out the upper channel on the daily, so this would qualify as I'm looking for buying opportunities on the lower time frames. It's kicked off already on the 4-hour, and it's kicked off and retraced a bit, but not a full retracement, but it has retraced. If you're a more aggressive trader, you could set a price alarm at 36.42. Dollar yen currency pair. This pair has been kind of ranging as it does oftentimes for a while here. We can see it ranging on the weekly chart, and we also see it ranging here on the daily chart. For me, looking at these two charts as they are right now, this is not a pair that I'd be looking at trading. I like to see that a pair has kind of made up its mind on which direction it wants to go, and when a pair is ranging like this, we can trade it in the range if we like to, but I prefer trend trading, so this would not be a pair that I would be considering at this time. Pound yen. Okay, pair was oscillating a little bit on the weekly, took out the upper channel, good angle and separation to the upside, took out the upper channel. Again, on the daily, we're looking at another potential assault at about 188.65, around in that area. I'd like to. This is a very volatile pair, as you may know. I like to see more of a pullback, more of a confirmation on this. What I'd be looking for is something. Let me make this chart a little bit bigger for you here. See where price action has touched the lower channel, then it takes out the upper channel. This would be a full pullback right there to the lower channel, and then it takes out the upper channel, and from that point on, it's kind of on its way. So I'd like to see a pullback on the 1-hour chart where price touches that lower channel, touches it, or even takes it out and moves down, and then comes back and takes out the upper channel. That's what I'd be looking for. So if you're interested in that pair, you can see the previous high at 88.61 for setting a price alarm at that level. Again, price alarms as opposed to entry orders, so that you can take a look at the charts rather than just blindly setting an entry order, and letting it trigger. What I like about price alarms is once they hit, I can then examine the charts, see what's going on. Like, for example, is the pound strengthening across the board, and is the yen weakening across the board? If that's the case, then this is going to be even more higher probability entry if that's going on. But I don't know that by merely placing an entry order and getting in the trade. So a price alarm is something we are continuing now. We're continuing now. Let's move along. Let's skip a couple pairs here to a couple that I found. Let's see. Let's go to the Aussie New Zealand. This will give you a bit of an idea of what I'm looking for. Aussie New Zealand here again, we see price action was moving down on the weekly, took out the upper channel. Strong angle and separation on slow stochastics, indicating that potentially price action might continue to the upside. I also see higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart. Price has moved above and closed above the 200 period moving average on the daily chart. I'm only looking for buying opportunities on this particular pair. On the 4-hour chart, bit of a pullback. On the 1-hour chart, this is the kind of signal I was mentioning before. See, it's in an uptrend, and then it comes down, touches that lower channel. And what I'd be looking for here, where I'd be setting my price alarm, is at right around that 109.08, 1.0908 level for the price alarm. So then I could decide whether or not I would like to enter the trade at that point. Again, I want to emphasize that these are exercises are for educational, instructional purposes on chart reading, and this is not meant as any kind of a recommendation to this is the pair you ought to buy, this is the pair you ought to sell, or anything along those lines. Another pair that I kind of found interesting to look at to drive a point home here is the Euro CAD, and again, okay, price action here moving to the downside, started to move up, but we got the 200 period moving average in a way. We've got some angle and separation on slow stochastics. It's coming above the 20 line, which kind of is a bullish signal for this particular oscillator. So I'd be looking for buying opportunities on this pair. Price action has come down on the daily, and it has taken out the upper channel line here. So it's made a new high at this point. So again, I'm looking for buying opportunities. Now this one's interesting, and this is why I wanted to use it as an example, in learning and showing you examples of how to read charts. This one's already kicked off on the 1-hour chart. So instead of going, oh, rats, I missed that particular trade, move over to the 4-hour chart. You might be able to catch it, and in this case, you can. So here, to take out the previous high, we'd be looking at 137.67. And this one, like I mentioned, slow stochastics is kind of curling to the upside with a little bit of angle and separation. Slow stochastics is ready to cross over again, so it's a potentially that could cross to the upside again. Nothing happens until it happens. Nothing's guaranteed in trading. Here, slow stochastics on the 1-hour is above 80, which is bullish. And here on the 4-hour, which is the one we're looking at, slow stochastics, let me enlarge this for you a little bit. Slow stochastics is giving us a bullish sign because it's above 80, and we have angle and separation to the upside on that. Let's see if we can maybe squeeze in one more pair here. Let's go to the USD Canadian. And here we've got price action making lower highs and lower lows, moved up for quite some time, making lower highs and lower lows, angle and separation to the downside on slow stochastics. On the daily chart, it's making lower highs and lower lows and approaching, right now it's above the 200 period moving average, but it's still in a very bearish posture based on what I'm seeing. It's in an open sell position on the daily chart and a bit of angle and separation to the downside. So I'm looking for selling opportunities here. And we had a nice pullback, not all the way to the upper Donchian channel, but a decent pullback nonetheless. If I were following this pair or interested in trading the pair, I'd set a price alarm at 1.1920 just to see what's going on at that point. If you're a very aggressive trader, we can see here, see how we've got this little support shelf right here? Let me expand that chart. We've got this little support shelf right here at about 1.1982. If you're very aggressive, you could set a price alarm right there, and potential, if it would drop all the way to that previous low that it made, is 60 pips. Generally, I like to look for about 100 pips or so, trend trader type of thing. But if you're very aggressive, and that would be something that you